All right, so I think we should go and do the beer reviews first, or should we do the word of the week? Which
Up to you, man.
I'm
You're running the show.
absolutely prepared for this time. I am.
Hmm.
I'm thirsty. Let's do the reviews, and then we'll get to the word of the week. How about that?
Yes.
Who wants to go
Down.
first?
Sounds like a plan.
I'll go first.
You go first?
So I'm doing different.
All right.
Yep.
Bang.
Bang. All right. I am drinking for this week Monk's Blood from
Nice.
21st Amendment Brewery.
Yes, that's
One of my
good.
favorite breweries. Yeah. It sits at, I believe, on the can, 8.3.
Yep.
As I looked at, sweet. IBU's not listed on the can, but I believe it's a Belgian style dark ale, brewed with cinnamon, vanilla, oak chips, and dried figs.
Ooh.
I've had this beer plenty of times. This is one of my favorite beers. Pour. So that's exactly the color. Kind of, I'm seeing that sort of a very dark brown. Maybe a little bit of red around the edges. Can't quite see that. I don't know.
Yeah. I think you can see it.
Smell. Whew.
Oops.
Smells strong. Smell of sort of your figs or dark fruits. A lot of oakiness of that same vanilla flavor as well. That's added. It smells a little boozy at 8%, but that could also sort of the association with that oak flavor and sort of a little bit of an alcohol you get in there. No hop character as you sort of get for most Belgian beers. Again, sort of caramel. Like caramel, sort of the strongest flavor. A little bit of a raisiny kind of that fig kind of note to it. I'm trying to pick something else in there. It's something else in there. I'm not quite sure what that is. It's very malty, extremely malty. So I'm just gonna go for it. Not much of a head. It's sort of 8%, so that's gonna knock that down pretty quick. Oh yeah, it's viscous. It's so thick in the mouthfeel.
Mm-hmm.
Getting sort of your chocolate, that caramel, the figgy notes, and sort of the same thing as a smell, the vanilla. The cinnamon is kind of in the back end. It's kind of, I guess, if there was a bitter note that most beers have, where it's sort of a hop character, the sort of contrast to a sweet beer. You give a little bit of that sharp cinnamon at the end. The oak's in there too, is kind of blending in with the sort of caramel vanilla flavor. What else is there? What else in here? Nope, just the cinnamon in there. So very malty, extremely malty. That's sort of the front flavor. Then it goes to the sort of caramel, figgy, sort of almost. It's sweet too, so I guess that sort of adds to the sort of texture to it. But it ends on sort of a relatively dry cinnamon note to it, which all sort of works well together. It is a little warming actually, for 8%. So you are going to have a little bit of a heat to it, sort of that little alcohol warmth to it. I sort of feel that sort of the back of the tongue. Not overwhelming. You sort of know going into it, it's going to be sort of a higher alcohol beer. Not one to pound because it's going to be physically hard to because it's so thick. This is one of my favorite beers. This is not the first time I've had it. This is like I bought 3 cases at the beer store because I saw it.
Can't go wrong with that beer, though.
Yeah. My obviously rating for this is going to be a perfect 5 because it is what it is. It's a strong Belgian ale. It's the complexity is balanced. You don't want something that's so cinnamon. You don't want like a spice bomb in the middle of the summer. It's that caramel note's not too strong, not too sweet. It's not overpowering the rest of the flavors. The fig matches well with that same character, and that sort of oakiness in there sort of blends back into sort of the cinnamon woody note. I don't know. I love it. I love this beer. I will drink it always, but I can never find it. That's why
It
I
seems
bought
like those
3
flavors
cases.
would really enhance what that style is, because you really do get that dried fruit, flavors and notes out of a regular strong dark. So that
Absolutely.
probably just enhances it, tenfold
Yep.
for what they did. So that
And
sounds like a good beer.
that brought up a good point too. The yeast in sort of any Belgian ale produces that sort of banana tannins and the sort of that spicy note as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that spicy note can go in with the oak, can go in with the cinnamon, and that sort of banana note can sort of blend in well with the caramelly vanilla flavors. So it all fits perfectly together. I love it.
Nice.
You know, I've
Awesome.
had this a few times. I mean, I've had it on tap too, which is,
I've never had it on tap.
it's a glorious beer. They have it here on tap every once in a while, but it's few and far between, really. But it is one of those beers that when you see it, you go straight for it. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, would it be an all around year beer for you? You said it would be for you, but I mean.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to drink in the summer, in, like the heat. It's gonna be rough. But I don't know. I can sort of muscle through it. I think it's worth it. It is definitely a good fall to spring beer, through and through.
Okay.
It's good for getting cold instead of good sort of transitioning from like those cold nights and then warm days. So when it gets real cold at night, like it's cold today, but it was 40, which is Vermont warm.
Right. It's the start of your spring. Your spring
Yeah, right.
there.
Yeah.
Red Angel, Bella, thank you for the host. Do appreciate it, guys.
It does sort of coat my tongue, sort of lingers there a little longer.
Right.
Yeah, but I love this beer. I can't say anything bad about it. I can't point it out.
So perfect 5 then. Wow.
I'll go perfect
nice.
5. And this brewery has all the beers I've had from them are at least 4+.
That's a laugh. It's gonna be hard to drink in the summer. Q swig. Challenge accepted.
Yeah. Let's go.
Pretty much.
I can't really picture many beers that would be 5 perfect ratings. I mean, there's one. I mean, I love my my landlord, and for me that's my British bitter of choice, and damn, I would drink that any day. But I mean, it's easy to drink a bitter all year round because it isn't really. I think it's just kind of perfect for the whole. Just I don't know. There's just not much else I can say about it except being perfect.
Yeah.
So.
I just don't recommend this beer for going out and go hard on one night drinking. I won't drink Monk's Blood all night. Horrible idea.
No,
that's a beer you don't do that with. Find a cheaper beer.
Walk into the club with 2 4-packs of Merry Monks or Monk's
Right.
Blood.
That's great.
No, you don't do that.
What's the
take your time with it.
With what's that one that's the Trogs does, the Mad Elf. You don't want to go drinking that every all night long. That would just be like a wreck. It would be absolutely.
I've seen somebody try and do that at a Christmas party. He brought a case thinking he was going to go through the whole thing. After 4, he was done. It was 11 o'clock. And I'm like, oh, okay, so you're in your 5th one now? Wow, good for you.
Boom.
Yeah, cool. Break a 6-pack.
On his face. Oh my god. Swig, do you want to go next or?
Oh, absolutely. If the floor is mine.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So let me get my stuff up. Now, the last time I was on, I did something kind of, out there, out of the ordinary. Decided to bring it kind of local. I think you're from, you've got some connections to Vault Brewing Company. Some people
I know
there.
James pretty well. He's a nice guy. I mean, we don't have him over for Christmas dinner or anything like that. But I mean,
I figured.
I've known him for a while through his brewery and through the Brewfest. So, but Vault Brewing Company is still one of my favorite places to go in Yardley. So.
Yeah, I actually got familiar with them through a beer fest. I think the first time I had them was at the Philly Beer Week opening tap, and they seem to do a lot of nitro stuff, but they do a lot of year-round stuff as well, which is good. So I think this is a new beer by them. Here, I'll show you the can. It's called Golden Dilemma, It's kind of like a neat color that's on the label there. It's like this really deep like gold color on there. What it is, it's a strong Belgian golden ale. So basically the other side of what Drew was having. It's a strong golden ale with orange blossom honey in it. Now,
Yes.
Orange blossom honey. I never heard of it before, but apparently it's like pretty hard to make. They basically have to put a beehive in the middle of the orange grove, and then the bees, pollinate that. They, bring it back to the hive, and they make honey out of it. And so it's supposed to have like these.
It tastes like oranges.
Notes. What's this? Yeah, pretty much.
It's very strong. It's so good.
Oh yeah. Well, one of the hops that they were using is Pacifica, or two of them are Pacifica and Mandarina Bavaria. So Mandarina's got to be all about that orange zest. Kind of not too far ahead of the grapefruit, but just sort of dialed back. So where it's like this, because orange is pretty subtle, pretty, it's very approachable in terms of high acid juices. So anywho, what else do I have here? No, that's pretty much it. So, I've been drinking this for a little while just to get familiar with the beer. This isn't a style that I actually drink often. This style is kind of like the Duvel Delirium crowd as well. So you don't really see that on tap as well. But from what I've had, it's just a little too strong, a little too yeasty. But it's definitely if you fall to making it, definitely be worth the try. So here, let me put that up there. So it's very golden, very highlight-ish, kind of crystal clear. I've been drinking this for a little while, so the carbonation is a little bit down, but it was super bubbly, white, 2-finger head, probably even.
He couldn't wait to drink it. He just cracked it open. He
just cracked it open.
Just cracked it open. It's like half of it. We had a 13-minute thing. It's like, screw it, I'm
drinking. Screw it, just chugging it. So all right, so I'll give it a nose here. Yeah, it's definitely like very sweet. It almost like masks that Belgian yeast that comes out. These beers are very heavy in that yeast aroma. So yeah, it's definitely very sweet, kind of like orange peelish. But it's like crystal clear, like almost like this is almost like a spring beer, because I think this is around the time that the orange blossoms come out and everything's in blooming. So, well, let's take a taste now. See, this is like very, very subtle compared to Delirium and Duvel. Sometimes it's like very, very carbonated, yeasty, malty. This is the honey really balances it out. It really kind of smooths it out, rounds it out, it takes away some of the jagged edges of this intense Belgian strong ale yeast. It also makes it like very, very crisp, not so sessionable, pretty boozy. Like I've had, just regular golden ales and cream ales that are kind of light in ABV, but this one's definitely like a little up there, almost like an IPA, like a clean IPA, with no hops. Yeah, some of the carbonation has died down just a little bit, but you're definitely able to get to a lot of the flavors a lot easier with this one. So I'd probably, so we were doing 5 out of 5, or we're not doing the stars anymore, right?
Yeah, we're doing stars. Oh yeah. We're doing
5 stars
rating.
I'll do 4 out of 5. This definitely keeps me in the loop with other strong golden ales. Not a very popular style of mine. Not that I'm starting to steer away from them or what, but it is a great beer. I don't really like to dislike any styles. There's just some styles that I'll go to a lot more than others. This was a great concoction that they came up with. They released this alongside their New Zealand IPA, which last year was a huge hit. And so usually when they'll bring around one of their like more popular beers, but like they did with the breakfast stout, they released a rye pale ale, which is new. I think that was one of the trial and errors. So they're starting to can a lot of the trial and errors that got a lot of reputation, a lot of good marks on it. So definitely 4 out of 5. This is a solid beer. Here, you know what?
It's a pretty cool looking can too. I mean, I like the artwork on it. We
yeah,
number
kind
2,
of like a black matte finish.
Yeah. It's pretty slick looking. I mean, it's just very clean, and I was.
Yeah, for sure.
Last week when I was talking with Russ Phillips when he was on Thursday, he pointed out a lot of different things that as far as like breweries are now doing that black matte finish. A lot of them are doing it with the lettering that just stands out, and I think it just looks it catches your eye. It's pretty it's pretty slick.
Yeah.
So I
almost
mean,
looks like wine bottles.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, like Vault Brewing Company, real fast, is in Yardley, PA. It is, as far as I know, it was started by 2 brothers, and it's called Vault because it was actually in an old bank. So if you actually look up Vault Brewing Company, their website shows, I think they show some before and after pictures. The after pictures look nothing like what the before. The brewery, the actual bank was just stark white and weird. But when you look at the way they made this brew pub, into out of this bank, it looks like an old time bank with like wrought iron bars.
Nice.
The brewing area is like right there, and all they do is just like stone wood fire pizzas and some flatbread sandwiches
all day.
And it is a great place. And for us, for Ann and I, when they opened up, and I can't remember how long ago they opened up, but I was just telling, I love jazz, so I was just telling Ann, I was like, damn it, I really wish there was some place really close that I can go and we can go hear some jazz. And
lo and behold,
walked in and I saw live jazz, and I was like, what?
Oh.
Beer,
my heart.
Pizza, jazz. Forget it. It's
perfect.
Home away from home.
Perfect combination of all those things.
You're not leaving.
And these guys are great. They're fantastic there. So I do love their beer too, and they come a long way. And they're actually starting up. And I have James's business card, so I have his number. So I'm going to be calling him up and kind of doing something similar to what we're doing this weekend. So I'll get into in a second after I crack this open here. All right, let me jump to the seller screen. I'm going to get the rules out of the way, and we are going to be jumping in here. Okay, so Sathros, I'm sorry. I wanted to kind of break them up here. I didn't do another Norwegian beer like the one you gave me. I did 2 in a row. So this is actually another a Vermont beer. We drank one, the Black Acre, this weekend when we were brewing. If you guys didn't get a chance to check that out, we have
check it out.
The highlights are up there. Go check it out. So this is a Drop-In Brewing Company. Heart of Litholing?
Sure.
Got it. Win.
It's why I didn't say that when I drank them as backup beer. Like, it's this beer.
This one right here. But so this is actually one of their flagship beers. It's a Scottish ale. It's about 5.6%. I've never had this before. This is one of the ones that Rochester brought me to PAX East, so I was kind of excited about it. Let's see here. Yeah, it's a Scottish 90 shilling type ale. So that is PAX Yeast. Yes, PAX Yeast. All right, good. That didn't start overflowing. Normally Scotch ales don't have too much. Oh, it smells good. They don't have too much carbonation, but I mean, every once in a while you open a can beer and I don't know if it's over carbonated and it just decides to come.
Just gets all over the place.
I find Sly Fox has 90% of the time I open a Sly Fox beer from Pennsylvania and like their can beers always decide to overflow on me when I open them. So I got my. It tastes good. Let's see here. So I got my Guinness glass here. My goodness. Let's give this a real quick sniff here. It is some malty flavors, but you're gonna get that from a Scotch ale.
Or any English ale to begin with.
Yeah. This is actually very light. There's a little bit of carbonation still on the tip of my tongue when I take a sip of this thing. It's not as malty as I thought it was going to be, or as sweet as I thought it was to be. But you know, I mean, this is, to be honest, this is one of the most Scotch ales I've had recently are higher than 5.6%, which I guess kind of explains why.
It's surprisingly drinkable.
Yeah, no, this is.
Oh, absolutely.
What's up, Papa Chubbs? How are you, man? Welcome.
P Chubbs.
So, it's super smooth. I mean, there's not a lot of really in your face like malt in this, but it's got a nice smooth flavor to it. That, I mean, it's a little bit bitter. I guess that bitterness overpowers some of the sweetness, but I mean, probably as this warms up, you can see the color. It's actually a very dark reddish, like almost deep brown.
Yeah, you can see the red on the bottom.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
There it is.
Check that out right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice color. And this is what I'm kind of hoping what the red ale comes out to be this weekend. From this past weekend.
A little extra hint of coffee in there.
We're gonna do that. That's gonna happen. I'll talk about that in a second. But you see the head dissipated. But this is.
Yeah.
I mean, what do they say about this as far as they have chocolate malts, British floor malts, crystal malt.
Yep.
Chocolate malts. I said that already. Fungal and Kent Golding hops using British yeast.
Fuggles.
Fuggles. That was going to be the name of my cat. If it wasn't going to be Barley, it's going to be Fuggles.
We could always get a second cat and call it Fuggles.
I have to find him at a brewery.
Are you kidding?
That's why Barley's name is Barley.
Barley's definitely second on the list. What tops
cool.
Fuggles?
I was kind of expecting this to be a little bit more like in your face, but it's not. Like I said, this is very drinkable. But I mean, I don't know.
Is it better than Rock Bottom Brewery?
Yes, it's more well balanced than Rock Bottom Brewery. So when we were at PAX,
I keep shitting on every show.
Seriously, we ended up going and hanging out with a bunch of other streamers out there. That was named after Otto Brewing. Was named after a cat. Oh, really? Hang out with a bunch of other streamers. Debbie Greats, Time, Bear, Shoal, who actually lives really close to me. Out here and in Pennsylvania. He lives about 20 minutes away. So, but that Rock Bottom Brewing Company, it was like a red ale that was just it was just
so sweet.
So I feel like I was drinking syrup at the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was not something that I was.
And also, Rock Bottom Brewery is a chain brewery. There's about I think 8 of them across the U.S.
Oh no, there's a lot.
I've
really?
been to one of them before.
There's more than 8. There's more than 8.
It's like
I've seen him.
What is it? Like a Friendlies, a brewery. It's kind of like that.
Wow,
that's their like style of
You're
food.
dogging them real bad.
Yeah, I mean it's solid food. It's okay. It's food. Beer's beer.
The Friendlies version of a brewery, right? Okay.
Oh my god. That's great.
Instead of serving ice cream, they serve okay beer. Instead of serving okay ice cream, they serve
it wasn't
okay beer.
I went to one in Indy and it wasn't that bad. It was okay, but as soon as I knew that, or as soon as I found out that it wasn't local, like okay, all right,
it makes sense.
Out of here. Yeah.
But the one in Seattle is better. Seattle, Washington, as you expect.
Their beer hit rock
absolutely.
bottom. Papa Chubbs. That's a bad joke.
Thank you, Papa Chubbs.
That's a bad joke right there.
You get a rash point today.
There you go. I mean, as I'm drinking this, it's kind of growing on me. The more of the malt's coming out of it, but it's still not like knocking on your face type Scotch. But you wouldn't expect that from a 5.6% ale.
Is that what you look forward to, like in a Scotch ale or a British ale? Is that big malt bomb?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes I want to be able to sit there and say, this is a British style.
This is
like
all grain.
Yeah, like if I had my landlord up here, I mean, in comparison, the maltiness of this, it's not like syrup, right? It's just well balanced. And this is well balanced. I would definitely drink this again. And we can't get this up in our area. I think this is very local to you.
It's
right?
very local, yes.
Very local.
Very small.
Let me see. There's something on the back here.
Canned in New York.
It's canned in New York and then shipped back to Vermont.
Yeah, a lot of Vermont breweries can their beer in upstate New York. It's just cheaper.
Drop-In Brewery is a production brewery of the American Guild Brewing School, leader in craft brewing education. Oh wait, so you were saying that the brewer here is the one that you learned from, or no? Yes.
The owner of the brewery is the sole proprietor and professor of the Brewers Guild, which runs out of Drop-In Brewery.
Oh.
I think it's one of the oldest East Coast brewing schools.
Okay.
And he was one of our consultants at Northshire Brewery, and I basically got his textbook and free tuition.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not a legit certification.
Wait, free tuition?
Basically, I know I have all his textbook and all his work, like all the like paperwork that he hands out and stuff. So I basically did the class, just nothing to show for it, but I worked with him.
That's awesome. Yeah, you were saying that they teach people there as well, so that's kind of kick-ass. I have the crowler of it downstairs somewhere. I have to review that still. I'm waiting. All the beers that I got, except for that Black Acre, I have all set for weekly reviews. So there's a lot of different beers down there that I need, and the Trillium that I brought back. Oh my God, so much Trillium.
The cases.
Okay, well, no, I got one case, and I gave half of it to Scotty.
You drank the rest, you're right, sure.
No, I gave it to Scotty. He paid for it. He wanted it, but he's going up there in October, and he's gonna get. I'm gonna tell him to get me
a second round.
Nice.
I'm really excited. So, as far as a rating on this, I definitely would say this is probably a 3.5 out of 5. Again, for drinkability, and I would want more a little malt forward, but as this is warming up, it's not still exactly where I want it to be, but again, this is the opinion of the reviewer, and if you disagree, it's okay. It's a free country for now, and that's it. Again, this is something that I could sit down and have a session with, even though it's below session beer. Beer
it's kind of like a sessionable cold weather beer. You don't see a whole lot of Scotch ales. You see a lot of browns or porters or even stouts, but
it's close to a brown ale.
Yeah, it's very close to a brown ale. This
kind of like a thicker brown ale.
This
like
is
a session
something
porter.
I could sit in front of, we have a fire pit out back there, and in the winter and even early spring.
Perfect.
This is something I could sit back and just tip a bunch back on.
Yeah.
And it would be definitely a very good thing. It's nice because it's not that high in alcohol, because when I'm playing in the fire pit.
You're right. You're playing in the fire pit.
That's
the
thing.
Fire pit.
That's the thing. Anne's like, you cannot drink and make fires, because I have, and it's gotten out of control.
It's the only way you make fire.
This is true. But yeah, at 5.6%, this is a very, very good beer. But I would give it a 3.5. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I'm a little bit critical about stuff when I come. I have a very.
I figured you would be on this beer. That's why I looked for a English style or British style beer.
No, I love it. I love the beer.
So I'm like, let's hear it.
I love the beer. I just and like I said, as it's warming up, as I'm drinking more of it, and maybe it's because of the carbonation. There's a little bit of carbonation on my tongue.
It's a little strong.
Yeah, I mean it's not. It's
not like champagne, but it's a little higher than the style permits.
Yeah. All right.